they're one of the better teams in the AFC. Juju Smith-Schuster there for a 24-yard gain. Later on in the drive, Big Ben, again to Juju, has all the good juju. Steelers lead 19-7. You knew right away, 22-7 here. And again, he connects with Chase Claypool, this one for an 11-yard touchdown. So the Steelers absolutely roll over the Bengals 36-10. Chase Claypool with Diana Ricci post-game.
Steelers wide receiver Chase Claypool with 2 touchdowns in their win over the Bengals. Chase, it was a really interesting week for you guys because you didn't have Ben in practice every single day, but you were still able to figure out a rhythm with him. How were you able to do that?
Yeah, luckily Ben's one of the best in the game, so we weren't worried that Ben was out because we knew that he was going to know what was going on. We just had to be on top of our things, and with the timing and stuff, we've been able to build that week by week, so it wasn't that bad.
When I talked to the Bengals this week about which receiver they think Ben likes the most, they said it is obvious. It's Chase Claypool. Why does Ben Roethlisberger like throwing at you so much?
Yeah, it changes every week, I think. We've been trying to connect downfield, and we've been just a little bit off, so I just got to keep making plays, and I got to start making plays downfield, and hopefully we keep it going.
Chase, you guys remain the only undefeated team in the NFL. You continue to put together wins. How are you guys not overlooking any team?
Oh, yeah, especially these games with division rival. These games mean the most when it comes to playoff pictures. So we know we can't take any teams light because that could affect us down the road. So just having that mindset.
All right, Chase Claypool, thanks so much for joining us.
Thank you.
The Steelers now 9-0 for the first time in franchise history. You look ahead. They travel to Jacksonville next week. Then they've got the Ravens, which is going to be a huge matchup, followed by Washington. And then some really tough competitions between the Bills. They'll face the Bengals again, followed by the Colts, who are sneakily very good. And then they'll finish up at the Browns. There was sort of an asterisk next to the Steelers. Like, now they're undefeated. But what would you say as we start to wrap up Week 10? We still have a couple of games left. Is your biggest takeaway so far?
I really don't know who the best teams are. Like, who's the best team? Like, it's like a seesaw. It goes back and forth. You're expecting one team to be just dynamite, and they go out there and they don't look great at all. And then, like Tampa, last week they look absolutely terrible. Then they come out and they have 500 yards offense, and Tom looks amazing. So it's like, it's Jekyll and Hyde. What do we have here? So right now, I don't know who the best team is. And some people are going to say, what are you talking about? The Steelers are 9-0. I still don't know if they're the best team. I don't know. So we'll find out in the next few weeks. What more do you need to
see, though, from them? I mean, they're getting contributions from every side of the ball. They've got one of the more dominant defenses, in particular against the rush. Big Ben's doing just enough. Like, what else do you need, Nick? And they're undefeated.
I mean, we're talking about practice. We're talking about...
Okay, so these are practice games. Okay.
No, so when you look at this game... you look at the Bengals, it's like, okay, the Bengals aren't really a test. I want to see some good tests. I want to see a great test. And the Ravens, I feel in a couple weeks are going to be that great test. And tonight we'll see them against the Patriots. So beating the Ravens a couple of weeks ago, not I want to see it towards the end of the season because the pressure is mounting on the Steelers. That 9-0 is pressure. You just heard it. Like, how does it feel to be 9-0? And everybody in that locker room is being asked that question. So eventually that pressure is going to weigh on them.
Okay, Tim, what's your biggest takeaway from Week 10 so far?
Well, other than Tiger getting a 10 on a par 3, giving Nick and I hope for a green jacket, my biggest takeaway is we're not giving enough love to the Miami Dolphins. We're not. It's Nick's former coach. It's my former teammate. Brian Flores, the job that he has done in Miami is remarkable. Look, I think we saw them getting better a year ago. But to kind of be in this position, just think about this. They have the Denver Broncos next weekend. They could be 7-3. Buffalo's on their bye. You're talking about 2 7-3 teams at that point in the season. They're very much in it. Nick did say it, earlier that they could win the division, and he's exactly right. I mean, the takeaway is the Miami Dolphins are for real because as much as we focus on offense, and their offense probably looks to be good enough with the way that Tua has played, it's what they're doing with the rest of their football team that makes them a legitimate
AFC East. Remember the move to Tua? Why? You're potentially a playoff team. Why would you do this? Why would you throw your season away? And a game that was rescheduled from October 25th because of COVID. Dolphins, Chargers, Tua versus Justin Herbert, 5th and 6th in the draft. A minute left, Miami leading 7-0 in the first quarter. Tagovailoa to Jakeem Grant. So now Miami opening up 14-0. Third quarter now, Chargers still trailing by 10. Herbert rolls out, finds Hunter Henry. Chargers cut the lead to within 3. Fourth quarter we go. Fins now leading by 6. Chargers facing a 3rd and 12. When Herbert's pass is intercepted, we keep seeing this late in games with the Chargers. They just have these mistakes. Howard returns it, 28 yards. Great field position for Dolphins off the turnover. 3rd and goal. Tua to Durham Smythe for the touchdown. Dolphins make it 26-14. They go on to beat the Chargers by a final of 29-21 in a battle of the rookie quarterbacks. Here's the winning quarterback, Tua.
I feel like I've always been comfortable with Chan. The only thing is me and him getting on the same page as to why he's calling a certain play and just the chemistry that we have. And so, it's just a continuous talk leading up to the game. And even with our starters, like our drive starters, like plays that we want to go out with to start the game too. It's a continuous talk. So just me and him getting on the same page and being comfortable with the plays that we're going into the game with, I think that's very, very key.
Tua is certainly getting more into a groove in his 3rd start, according to NFL Next Gen Stats. Tagovailoa was pressured 20% less today than he was in his first 3 appearances and was able to push the ball downfield a lot more, averaging 11.3 air yards per attempt. You could say some of that is the Chargers, who have yet to find a pass rush. It's very Jekyll and Hyde-ish to this point. But I do want to get your thoughts, Tim, on what you see between this matchup of 2 who seem to be future preeminent quarterbacks in the NFL, their rookie years.
Yeah, I think the future is really bright. I just kind of go back to July and August when everyone was talking about how, a rookie quarterback this year was going to be faced with, challenges that no one's ever been faced with before based on what the offseason looked like, what it looked like getting these guys ready, the lack of practice time, how difficult it was going to be. Look, I think that the job that both of these quarterbacks have done, obviously the sample size is bigger for Justin Herbert, but think about what he's done. Herbert's come in basically because Tyrod Taylor gets injured, taking a shot before a game, and he's, really been a bright spot for that football team, even though they, haven't won as many games as they would have hoped to. And then you look at Tua, I think that, his first game out, it was like, look, they clearly had the training wheels on. But since that point, he looks like a guy that, had people so excited, when you watched him play at Alabama. The ability to create offense, the ability to kind of step on a throw and play quickly, and then just hearing him talk about understanding, what Chan Gailey, was trying to get when a play call comes in. Tua's not just thinking about it on a base level. He's trying to get to the next level. And I think that just even mentally where he is as a quarterback for a guy this young with what he went through in terms of his rehab at this point is incredible. And I think we probably need to start paying a little more attention to the Miami Dolphins, especially with how they're playing on defense.
What are your thoughts, Nick?
Look, they set up their first score with a block punt. So, look, when you can play great special teams and great defense and you turn the ball over defensively, interceptions, sack fumbles, getting the ball off the opposing team, and you can block punts. They had a great punt return that set them up for more points. So when you're winning all 3 phases, it's going to put you in a great position to be competing for the division. They're going to play Buffalo here at the end. It's going to be awesome to watch this division race with Miami. And I just think that Miami right now in the division is the best overall in 3 phases. They play well on special teams. Mm-hmm. They put the pressure on teams, and they've been able to do that consistently. And then their defense is kind of flying under the radar right now. Nobody's really talking about the Miami defense, but they have been playing really good football in the last 4 weeks.
Spoken like someone that used to play for Brian Flores.
B-Flow.
You know what I mean?
Smart.
I'm
He's
just
a smart
saying,
coach now.
He's certainly a smart coach. And so there it is. The Dolphins just a half a game back now of the Bills in the AFC East. I do want to go back, though, and talk about the NFC West. This was supposed to be a big one between the Seahawks and the Rams. The Hawks were embarrassed by the Bills last week. They were looking for a little get back. That defense wanted to redeem itself, facing the Rams, also looking to redeem themselves, coming off a bye after losing to the Dolphins. First quarter, Jared Goff.